Right.
People look at you different. They're going to make fun of you. You can't go back to their regular jobs. So what you, that's when motherfuckers alt themselves. They type, you know what I mean? Get on drugs, skid row. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but if you really want to stretch the money.
I would rather die than be poor.
Hey, relax. Now you're going too far.
Not that I'm poor. I'm just saying.
I know you're not. I'm just saying. Like,
yeah. Like, I'd rather just die.
I don't like her, man. She doesn't seem like she has an ounce of humility. She just seems very entitled, whatever her name is. To say that you'd rather be dead than to be poor is extremely crazy and disrespectful to people who are just poor. You know, not everybody can be rich. The way that capitalism works, not everybody can be well off. That's just the name of the game.
So I'm moving to Thailand in June.
I remember you said that.
Yeah.
Why you want to move to Thailand at all places?
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna move there forever, but I'm gonna go there for a little while. Take a break.
Is it because, you know, it's cheap? The economic understanding is there?
Like, that's part of it. Like, you could live good for cheap.
Facts.
Which I'm like, you know, I'm tired of like having to like chase this hamster wheel of like, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I agree, man. I don't know how we allowed it to get to this point, man. Back whenever we had our grandparents and our great grandparents, everybody had their own house. Everybody had land. Everyone had something that they could pass on when they died. Now we live in paycheck to paycheck. We working nonstop just barely to maintain what we have. It's ridiculous, man. And I ain't gonna lie, it's extremely tiring and stressful. So that's why I think it's super important to, if you can afford to invest your money. You know, so that way when you get older, you have something that you can pass on to the next generation. But I don't disagree with her. It is like a hamster wheel just running in circles. It's like a rat race. Very draining.
So I think like once I had a kid, like just everything kind of slowed down for me, and I'm like a fast life type of person. So I don't know how to really like exist in that like slow motion pace. Because, you know, you need a lot of money to, if you're not making at least $20,000 a month, like you're struggling.
That's a
$20,000 a month? No. What is that? $240,000 a year? I think, yeah. Yeah, okay. My dumbass had to double check because sometimes my quick maths are not that good. So yeah, $240,000 a month. That's a ton of money. I said a month, a year, I mean, sorry. That's a lot of money. You don't need that much. That's not true. I think it just takes two people. That's really what it comes down to. If you have, you know, a couple, whether you're married or not, but ideally husband and wife, and you have kids, if the man is making, let's say you're making 40,000, 50,000, and then the woman's making 40, 50,000, you're making anywhere from 80 to 100,000 between the two of you. That's enough to live off of. If you guys aren't spending your money dumbly, you know, that's plenty of money right there. You just have to learn how to budget and to buy things that you need rather than want. Every now and then you can get things that you want, but just stick to strictly things that you need.
If you're not making at least $20,000 a month, like you're struggling.
That's a lot of money. But but
you don't. But I feel like that's how much I need. So in Thailand, for like $5K, I could do whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't like anybody anyway, so there's nobody I would be staying here for.
But you gotta worry about malaria, them flies and all that. You know what I'm saying? You walk outside, you know what I mean? They got big old tarantulas and stuff out in the street. You know what I'm saying? They got flying possums, all type of unspeakable.
Flying possums?
You ain't heard of that?
No.
You gotta Google the flying possums. In Thailand. I made it up, but it sounds good. But it's just crazy animals and stuff out there.
There's animals here. There's alligators.
This girl ain't got no sense of humor, man. Anybody else would have busted out laughing. I could tell she uptight, dude. He said flying possums. That you could at least like smirk or giggle or something.
There's here.
Florida ain't no joke. But and then as you in a third world country, like you might be cool in your little compartment,
and
but as soon as
it's better.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too third world for me. I just feel that the money wise to survive, and even if you had a large sum of money, that's the best way to stretch it. I remember I talked to one of my homeboys before because he was getting $1 million deal, and I didn't have $1 million deals and blue money, right? So he was asking me like, okay, I get this money. I'm like, he's like, man, it ain't as much as you think. I said, yeah, you got 40, 50 more years to live. That ain't no money.
I blew $1 million in like 2 years.
Yeah, that ain't no money. Like if you live in life, because all you're gonna do is buy better cars, get a better house, eat better food, fly first class, 5-star hotels, park valet, $100, keep it up front. You're gonna do all that, especially you never had
And
the
you
money
don't even
before.
gamble, so imagine throw gambling.
Oh,
into
that's a
that.
whole nother echelon.
Right.
And then like,
Maybe it's just me, but I don't think that would happen to me. Imagine right now, you out there that I'm talking to, imagine someone just gave you $1 million. Do you honestly think that you would blow it like they said within a year or two? Because I know for me personally, that wouldn't happen. That $1 million would set me up nicely, man. Nicely. I would pay my house off so that way I know I never have to worry about owning a property. All I'm paying for is the property taxes every year. And then I would invest it in other things to where it's just making me money. You know, like, what do I need to blow the money for? That's the problem with Americans, man, is we think that we have to keep up with everybody else. Like he just mentioned flying first class and buying new cars and stuff.
and if you're not growing the money, it's
See?
gonna keep going down. Nothing's worse than a pile of money because it keeps going down. You gotta have streams of income.
Right.
I don't care if I gave you $1 million. You're gonna be
Spend it.
you're gonna be worse than you were with your job.
Right.
Because you're gonna quit your regular job,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have all these extra expenses, living life, giving money away.
Yeah.
And once that go away, the life you had before is not gonna exist because you gotta live to a certain caliber.
Right.
People look at you different. They're gonna make fun of you.
Oh
You can't
my
go back to
God.
their regular jobs. That's what motherfuckers alt themselves.
Oh
They
my
type, you know what I mean? Get on drugs, skid row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if you really
I
want
would
to stretch
rather-
the money,
I would rather die than be poor.
hey, relax. Now you're going too far.
Not that I'm poor. I'm just
I
saying.
know you're not. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah. Like
that's-
I'd rather just die.
that a lot of people do. I don't think that's a good, way to go. But
What?
to die, to be poor, you can get
Bro,
rich again.
okay, so not to like take this like non-serious conversation to a serious conversation, but this lady on the way here, I saw this lady was homeless.
Yeah.
And she was living with her kids in the car, and 2 of her kids died of like they froze to death.
Hypothermia, yeah.
Yeah. So who
Damn.
wants to live like that? Like
I
I'd
mean,
rather just be dead at that point because you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like
if you got to live in
you
your
have
kids,
4 kids.
4 of them?
She had 4 kids, and she was living with her sibling, all in a car. You should stop having kids.
Where's the dad
sure.
at?
Before, after 1, like stop
It should be a money restriction on people having kids.
for sure. Because I have 1 kid,
Yeah.
and I'm not even close to poor. Because I don't even know what poor is. But to me, poor is like
I don't like her, man. She doesn't seem like she has an ounce of humility. I don't know who she is. I don't know who this woman is. Shawarma. What is this? Oh, I'm a dumbass. Shawarma is not her name. She just seems very entitled, whatever her name is. To say that you'd rather be dead than to be poor is extremely crazy and disrespectful to people who are just poor. You know, not everybody can be rich. The way that capitalism works, not everybody can be rich. Not everybody can be well off. That's just the name of the game. That's just how it works, man. There has to be poverty for people to be rich. Otherwise, it would just be everybody's on equal playing field. And there's a lot of poor people out here that didn't start that way. Like they were doing very well. And then let's say they started a business, invested a lot of their money in that. Then the business tanked, and then they lost everything and they became poor. Or some men who go through divorces and their wife takes everything or half of what they had and they got to pay child support. And it's just, there's a bunch of different situations where you could end up poor, even though you were nice, you were, just smooth sailing, and then you hit a bump in the road and you never recovered from it. So to say that you'd rather be dead is like very entitled to me, because we're all one emergency away or one bad life event away from being poor. Like, let's just be real. So you got to have a little bit of empathy.
because I don't even know what poor is. But to me, poor is like anything under 100,000, you're poor.
Oh, that's,
Okay.
that's drastic.
In the bank. No, that's how I feel.
In the bank?
Yeah.
100,000 liquid
If you don't have 100,000, you're poor.
and money coming in.
And money coming in. Right? So,
Yeah.
but I'm saying if you're living in your car or you're on set, whatever your situation, if you're not making money, like you should stop having kids. I have
for
one
sure.
kid. I'm like, okay, this is very stressful. Like slowing down my income. Like I don't want no more kids.
Shouldn't be fucking.
Unless somebody's giving me $5 million to have their baby,
Yeah.
I'm not having any more
Hey,
kids.
I feel you on that. Like,
I don't
yeah.
want any more kids.
Motherfuckers shouldn't be, like I said.
Shit is expensive.
You shouldn't be fucking if you ain't got no money.
You shouldn't be
Unless you fucking for money. You know what I'm saying?
For
one or
sure.
the other. But if you
Right.
just broke and just out here just fucking like,
What's the
and then
point?
having kids and all that, that should be against the law.
Against the law.
Then why
Against
are
the
you doing
law.
that? We got to pay for our taxpayers. Got to pay for that, like, because you're not gonna be able to sustain this life. Like, how
But-
dare you
but
have a
it's
kid and
for-
you're poor?
It's fucked up to the kids.
Right.
Like, why do they have to fucking freeze to death in a car and die?
And
Because
then
you're a fucking
Okay, I'm gonna end it here, but I definitely agree with both of them on that point right there. If you're broke, you should not be having children. That's a totally different situation right there. Because Mr. Organic brought up a good point. People who are having a bunch of kids and they don't have no money, they're causing us to pay more taxes. Like, and when I say us, I mean regular people who are working 9-to-5 jobs who pay taxes every single year. We have to pay for that. If they're getting some type of government assistance, that's from us. And that's why I'm kind of glad Trump is doing what he's doing, where he's cutting the welfare or limiting it to certain, categories of people, because there was way too many people relying on the system. Way too many people. Like she said, there's a woman with 4 kids and they're dying because they don't even have a place to live. That's crazy. You shouldn't, at that point, you should not be having kids. I don't disagree with her on that. Who knows her situation before that? But yeah, if you're broke and you have no money, what are you doing? Why are you shacking up with somebody having sex? Let me know what y'all thought about this video in the comments. I think this lady right here, I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research and find out who she is, because she seems to be extremely entitled. And I don't know if maybe she's joking, because when she said you have to have 100,000 in the bank and money coming in, she kind of like smirked. I feel like she's serious though. If you have a good 9-to-5 and you're making anywhere between 40 to 60,000 a year, because that's like the average for most people, you're fine. Especially if you find a spouse and y'all both are putting y'all's income together and y'all are spending money wisely. You're perfectly fine. Don't let these people come out here and fearmonger you and make you think that if you don't have $100,000, you're broke. That's stupid, man. That's absolutely stupid. I ain't gonna lie. Inflation is messing a lot of stuff up and it's causing people to be extremely stressed out, myself included, because it's like you go to the grocery store and you remember how much it used to cost last year to buy the same items, and it's like double. It is a little frustrating, but you got to adjust. And this is just motivation for us to get the family unit back together, man, because that's really what it takes. It's 2 people. But yeah, man, that's it for this video. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with her? Do you agree with Mr. Organic? And also, I will link this video in the description for anybody who wants to go watch the entire thing. But yeah, man, leave a like on this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.